Welcome to your Frisco real estate market update for May 2024. And, although there have been plenty of recent headlines talking about home price increases of 4, 5, and even 6% year over year, depending upon what part of the country you're in, the leading price indicators are starting to tell us a different story. Now, I'm going to explain that in more detail and share how you can get the absolute latest data specific to your market in this video. I'm also going to turn my attention towards mortgage rates, which have stayed higher for much longer than originally forecast. Should we expect any mortgage rate relief this year? Well, I'm going to let you know what the experts are saying, so stay tuned as we dive into all of it right now. Hi, this is Andrew with the Andrew Smith team, eXp Realty here in Frisco, Texas. And home prices have continued to defy all expectations. They just seem to keep going up. And when you factor in mortgage rates and how high they've been, it's no wonder that affordability is now at its lowest level in over 30 years. It's got a lot of people asking, when will it end? And to be honest with you, it's a difficult question to answer. I mean, because despite all of this, home sales prices are all up year over year, which kind of defies expectations. Now, as I mentioned right at the beginning of this video, although there have been a lot of recent news headlines reporting that home prices are increasing up to 6%, we have not seen quite that level of appreciation here in Frisco, which I'm going to show you as I share my screen. All right, so what we're looking at right here is the median sales price for Frisco. And just to point out a couple of things, this is for all construction types, and it's focused in only on single family homes. This goes all the way back to 2021, but as you can see right here at the end, although prices took a slight dip in April to 690,000 for a median sales price, that is up 2.4%. So although it's not the 5 and 6% that many parts of the country are seeing, it is still up 2.4% year over year. Now, as I mentioned, the pending sales are also up. So as I change the graph over to that, you can see pending sales are up 15.8% year over year. So despite rises in prices, despite the high mortgage rates, people are still buying homes. When we look at closed sales as well, they are up 13.8% year over year. So you're seeing a lot of activity. And in general, there's a lot more sales and real estate market activity happening this year compared to last year overall. Now, I'm going to go back to the pending sales for just 1 second because this is going to make more sense towards the end of the video. I'm going to circle back to this. So make sure that you stay tuned until then, because there's a huge impact that we have in our local markets here, not just Frisco, but McKinney, Prosper, Salina, that's the impact that new construction has. We all know there's building taking place everywhere. So if we look at this, overall, the market pending sales are up 15.8%. If I look at the resale market, it's up 8.8% year over year. But look at new construction. It is up 66.7% year over year. So where are all of the sales happening? Yes, new construction. So if you're new to this channel or you haven't done so, please check out the new construction walkthrough videos that I post each and every week to kind of feature some of these communities and some of these homes that offer some of the absolute best deals out there. Now, even though our pricing here is up 2.4% year over year, it's still showing good appreciation. If you've seen any of the videos that I've done previously, you'll know that I don't like to focus a whole lot of attention on the closed sales in order to try and give you the information that you need, whether buying or selling, on where future home prices are going to be. And that's because focusing on the closed sales is like looking in the rearview mirror. Here's what I mean. Those sales that I just showed you for April, those are properties that were listed for sale in December or January, right? They went under contract late February, maybe the beginning of March. They closed in April, and there we have it. December and January are the slowest time of the year here. They're when pricing on a year over year basis is at its absolute lowest. I like to try and look at where are homes being listed for? What's the list price going on now? Yes, I know list prices can change. Yes, I know people can drop their price. But if you dig into the numbers, you actually find that as of April, homes in Frisco are selling for 100% of list price. They are selling. Some homes are selling for less, some homes are selling for more. It's averaging out at about 100%. So when we look at the list prices, that where homes are listed now gives us an idea of where prices are going to be in July and August. There's not many people in this market that are just throwing their house out there at some way inflated price just to test. It's just not happening. So let's take a look at that. Okay, what we're looking at right here is from my weekly market update. Now, this is for Frisco, but you can get this exact same information for any city or zip code in the entire country. In the description below, I've got a link to this report. And as I scroll up right here, you'll see at the top, move myself out of the way for you, search this right here, this search bar, hit that button, and you will be taken to whatever market it is that you want the information for. So again, I look at the market action index, and what the market action index tells us is it's takes all of the information, and it's kind of a speedometer, if you like, on where the market is. Does it favor buyers? Does it favor sellers? And in here, it says the market remains in relative stasis in terms of sales to inventory, and prices have been relatively stable for a few weeks. However, inventory is sufficiently low to keep us in a seller's market zone. Now, where is that coming from? Well, let's take a look at this. This right here, I'm looking now at the median list price for Frisco, and I have zoomed in. I've zoomed in going back to the end of the year. Now, this dotted line that you're looking at right here is the week over week numbers. That's why it's all jagged and all over the place, right? It's the mix of homes and how this number is changing on a week by week basis. The solid line that you see is a 90-day rolling average, so it's much smoother. Here's what I want to point out. Look where the prices were the end of December. You know, the average 702 for list prices. As we come out of our winter hibernation here in Frisco, we see prices start to run up rapidly. Happens every single year. It's no different. Nothing was different this year. Look at where we were February 2nd. The median list price February 2nd was 793. We took a little dip. We came back up here, and then we ended up here March 15th at 794. Not much of a change from February. We stayed right there all the way out until the end of April, 799. Not a lot of change. Yes, we did jump up a little bit the last couple of weeks, completely normal. You start to see that as the mix of properties that get listed this time of year changes. But the median list price here, as you can see, is relatively stable. It's not going anywhere. Why is that important? Well, as I just mentioned, I already know from the data that homes are selling for roughly 100% of list price. We also know that the homes being listed now are what are going to go under contract in the next 30 to 45 days. Then they will close 30 to 45 days after that. So what we're seeing here is a good indication of where sales prices are going to be July, even the beginning of August timeframe. The point I'm making is that they've been relatively flat. So the big price increases that people have been talking about, it's not going to keep happening per se. It's all starting to settle down. Okay, now if I come down here just a little bit, I look at the inventory. Here's where it gets a little bit interesting. Okay, same period of time. Inventory starting the end of April, the number of new homes coming to market has started to dip. That means as mortgage rates rose, this coincides with when rates jumped again, the number of people listing their homes started to drop. There was a little bit of a pullback, and that has to do with the fact that some of the people that are selling, it might not be as appealing for them as it once was. Okay, so again, in recap here, the reason I'm looking at these list prices is because it gives us a great idea of where prices are going to be forward, thinking forward, which is way more important than looking backward, especially if you're considering buying or selling. Now, with that in mind, one of the big impacts on this has been mortgage rates. So what's the latest with mortgage rates and where are they going to go from here? Well, what we're looking at right here is the 2024 mortgage rate projections from Fannie Mae, the Mortgage Bankers Association, and the National Association of Realtors. You may recall, if we go back just a few months, that all of these entities were forecasting rates right around 6% or below 6% by the third or fourth quarter of this year. That is no longer the case. As you can see, all of them are forecasting that all the way into Q2 2025, rates are going to remain above 6%, with the average of all three for Q2 2025 being 6.17%. If we zoom closer in here to the Mortgage Bankers Association, they are projecting that we are going to continue to see that downward trend all the way through 2025, with rates back below 6 into the high fives, roughly towards the end of Q3 or Q4 2025. Now, you may recall just a moment ago, I said new construction. What's the impact of new construction? Their pending sales are up way more than resale. So why? Well, it all comes down to the mortgage rates. The home builders know what is driving the market, and what is driving the market right now is those mortgage rates. So based on what we've just seen with those mortgage rate projections, here's what's going to happen, in my opinion. You can already see the builders right now are offering mortgage rates as their primary incentive. They're offering rate buy downs, permanent or temporary rate buy downs, to get that mortgage rate lower, to ease that payment for the first 2 to 3 years that you are in that new house. As a result, what's going on with new home sales? They're way up. They're way up. Now, if we consider that the projections that we just saw are for mortgage rates to fall starting later this year, and they continue falling all the way through 2025, what you're going to see is all of those buyers that are sitting on the sidelines right now, that have been waiting because affordability is at a 30+ year low. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to come back into the market the minute these rates start to fall. Every single time the mortgage rate drops, we see an uptick in mortgage applications. If those rates fall back and hold below 7, and then they start falling into the mid 6s, that's going to bring these buyers back out, which in turn is going to do what to home prices? That's right. It's going to send them back up. I don't foresee runaway prices like we saw previously a couple of years ago, but I do see sustained continued growth in our markets here, assuming that happens. It also assumes there isn't anything unforeseen in the economy that takes place over the next several months. So hopefully that information helps. Now, again, as I mentioned, if you've been planning on buying or selling a home, want more detailed information about the local market, I invite you to reach out. I've got a couple of things for you in the description below. One is a link to that Frisco market report I just showed you. Again, you can sign up to receive that automatically each and every week for whatever city or zip code is most of interest to. And also in the description, I have got a link to my seller market report. So if you are considering putting your home on the market anytime in the months ahead or in the next year, you can go ahead and sign up to receive that report each and every month, which is not only going to track your home value, but it's going to track the latest activity and trends specific to your neighborhood. Great way to keep an eye on the market. And as always, if there's anything at all I can do for you, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can call or text the number on the screen, or alternatively, also in the description below is a link to my calendar where I invite you to schedule a free 30-minute call with me.